So the next thing we want to do is that we're going to put the center line for these piles, and we're going to finish this part and put in the center line for this column to move over to the next step. So I'm going to go back to my drawing. What I want to do here is that I'm going to delete the lines that I already set up here. So I'm going to use the tool called Erase. You can have it by clicking up here in Modify tab, it's Erase, or you can type E as the short key for that, and then pressing a space. Now what I have to do is just selecting the object I don't want it. So I'm going to select this reference line that I put in order to draw my drawing, and when I'm done I just press enter. So all those lines is gone. The only line that I'm going to keep is this line, because basically it's almost in the right size as a center line that I want for this pile. Now we are using another tool called rotate. So basically the rotate is rotating the object around the center point with the specifying angle. So I'm going to use rotate. First thing I have to do is that selecting the object. So rotate, basically I can have it by short key of RO, or I can have it by clicking up here. You can see that here, rotate. Both of them do the same thing. I'm going to select the object as a first input for this command. And when I'm done with selecting the object, I'm going to press a space to go to the next stage, and it asks me specifying the base point. So I'm going to making sure that I'm going to using the right one. So I'm going to click in the center. When I move my mouse, see when I move my mouse to this circle, it's basically highlighted the center. So if I click here, that's basically going to be the center of that. So then I can type the angle that I want, right? So what if I don't do anything and just type 90 degree? See, the first object is kind of a disappear, and that object that I rotate is going to be in a new place. So let's go ahead and run this command one more time. So I'm going to use rotate, RO. I'm going to selecting this object, pressing a space to the next level, and moving my mouse here closer to circle, click. Now let's select the circle. And before I type the angle, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on the copy. All right, so I click on the copy and I'm going to keep the angle 90 degree and pressing enter. Now, not also this object is rotated, but it creates another copy of it. All right, so I have to put these in the right place. So I'm going to select them and I'm going to change this one to center line. Okay, and if I want them to be in the right scale, I select them, and I'm going to go to the line type scale. If I change this line type scale to 5, maybe I have to go a little lower. Yeah, so maybe 0.8, it's going to be 0.5. Will work. Still solid line. Okay, so let's put this line type scale to 0.3. Yeah, good. Looks good. So this basically, I explained it the other day. When you don't want to change the LT scale, global LT scale, and you want to change the scale just for a couple of objects, you select them, you go to the properties, you find the line type scale, and change that to the appropriate one. So that's going to be show the line type in the right format. Now I'm going to use another modifying tool which will come very handy, and that's copying. So the copying, basically, you can access it by clicking under the Modify tab, Modify section, Copy, or you can type CO as a copy. And the first thing is going to be asking you about the object. So I'm going to go over and selecting this object and space. Now it asks me for the first point that I want to use as a reference point, as a base point. So I'm going to use the center here as my reference. As I move my mouse, you see that is moving that object with that reference point. Now I want to put that center line into the center of this object. So I'm going to go over center of this circle and click here. Now I want to move my mouse to the other one and find the center of the other circle and click on this here. I can create a multiple of these copies in my drawing. And when I'm done, pressing enter or space, that's gonna get me out of this command.